Well, I am a mother, a wife, a friend. I feel like as a mom, I don't think about who I am a whole lot. I like anything that gives me a creative outlet. And when I had twins, the first 6 months with them were kind of a blur, and I felt like I needed something that was mine outside of being mom to these kids. So I decided to start the blog. I had felt like the Lord gave me a vision of someday I'd have a retail shop. That same year, I decided to start my first pop-up shop. I realized I was either going to start doing this all the time, or I needed somebody else to come on board. So,
who am I? Wow, that's a big question.
Tammy and I met 8 years ago at a church that we were attending.
I've been a buyer and I've been a merchandise planner. I've been in management. I've pretty much done everything in retail.
I just felt like it was the right thing to ask her to come on board and join me. We prayed about a specific location, and the Lord ended up opening it up for us just weeks after our initial prayer. Fox 9 called, and every couple of weeks we're their fashion experts.
We honestly felt led because things were handed to us.
We felt like everything was amazing for those first few months.
Plans are good to have. Plans don't always happen the way you hope they do.
So we track out to this event. We have a day of setup and 3 days that we have to be working out there. And it was terrible. Sales were terrible. We barely sold enough to break even. Tuesday morning, we get to the shop to unbox everything and realize somebody had spilled something tomato-based on every single item of clothing that had been packed in the box. At the same time, our point of sale system went down, so our whole register stopped working, and I'm backing out of the driveway, smack dab into my dad's car, and I get an email from Fox 9 asking why we didn't show up that day. I feel like I'm doing everything you've asked of me, Lord, and everything is a mess. He said to me, everything you have, I've given to you. You don't need it. As long as I was listening to him, that's all that was required of me. And I gave it up. I gave it back to him because none of it was mine to hold on to in the first place. The Lord is where I need to seek shelter, and under his wings is where I'm going to flourish. And I can't do it on my own. So I gave all of that up to him, and he gave it back to me. Even though it's a business setting, and I would like to make money at this eventually, it's easier to keep going because we view it as a mission field.
That is a huge part of why I love the shop. People walk in, and I kid you not, they say, I feel the Holy Spirit here.
We've had people come in and start crying because they feel like it's a safe place to be vulnerable and to share their stories.
That's what we want. If I had any doubts this morning when I walked in the door, that is why we do it.
I think being faithful to God's calling for me means that sometimes it's not going to be easy to take that step. Even when it's tough and even when it's scary, you say yes. And you jump into what he has for you.